Hey, what's up guys? It's Saiyan Lord Z here. Welcome back to another What If. What if Raditz never came to Earth? In this What If, I'm going to discuss what would happen if Raditz didn't come to Earth, also explain the consequences without the arrival of Raditz, and how different the Dragon Ball world would be without the Saiyans. Now with that out of the way, let's get this What If started. We start off this scenario when Raditz tells Vegeta and Nappa that he has a little brother named Kakarot. He also states that he lives on a planet called Earth and explains how useful Kakarot would be if he joined the Saiyans, and they will take over the universe in no time. Vegeta thinks about it and comes with a different conclusion. He decides not to have Raditz come to Earth because Raditz is the same power level as the Cybermen, so they think he would be even weaker than Raditz. Vegeta and Nappa think that Kakarot would just slow them down. The fact that it's Raditz's brother doesn't really fill him with confidence. So Raditz doesn't come to Earth because not enough power exists on Earth, and they view Kakarot as a weakling. If Raditz didn't come to Earth, Goku would never find out that he's a Saiyan. He would still believe he's a human and not know that he's an alien from planet Vegeta. Another thing is the fact without Raditz, Dragon Ball wouldn't become Dragon Ball Z. The Saiyan and Namek sagas end up never happening. Without Raditz coming to Earth, Vegeta and Nappa would have never came to Earth either. That's not a good thing because Vegeta did prove how much of a help he is to the Z Fighters over the years. Gohan's life would have been way different because without Raditz never coming to Earth, Gohan would have never trained with Piccolo, never became a fighter in the first place. And honestly, in my opinion, I think two characters that were affected most by the arrival of Raditz was definitely Gohan and Piccolo, because Piccolo's life changed for the better, and Gohan became a stronger warrior and went through an awesome character arc. He would have had a normal childhood, eventually went to school, even earlier than canon, and he would have never lived up to his potential of being a Saiyan hybrid. And he'll still think he's a human. Also, Piccolo would still believe he's a demon and not an alien, well, Namekian. Piccolo might have still remained a villain because he believes his purpose is to become the Demon King and take over the world just like his father, King Piccolo. If Raditz never showed up, that means Goku and Raditz would have never been killed by Piccolo's Bakonko Sapo, otherwise known as the Special Beam Cannon. If Goku never died, he would have never trained with King Kai, would have never learned Spirit Bomb and Kaioken, which were proven to be very essential to the Saiyan invasion. Goku would have never became a Super Saiyan or Super Saiyan God, which were very important against future enemies. That means if Nappa or the Saiyans eventually landed on Earth, Nappa would have stomped Goku because Goku would be way too weak to fight Nappa. Don't get me started with Vegeta, everyone's screwed. It's very unlikely in this scenario because they would have never known about the Dragon Balls. That was the main reason why Vegeta and Nappa came to Earth in the first place. If Raditz and the other Saiyans never came to Earth, Frieza would have never came to Earth and would still be roaming the cosmos. Piccolo might have stayed a villain, but not as bad as his father. I think he would have either became an anti-hero or would have eventually turned good, but it would take longer. If the Saiyans never came to Earth, it would be peaceful for a while. The only threat would be Piccolo. Without the arrival of Raditz, Vegeta would have never been redeemed, would have stayed evil, and never married Bulma. Trunks wouldn't be born. I think Vegeta out of the picture, Bulma would have eventually married Yamcha and still had a son. I still think they would still name him Trunks, but Obviously, this Trunks isn't the Trunks we know and love. I think he would be an engineer just like his mother. Since nobody goes to Namek, the threats from space just stay in space. Yeah, even if the threats do stay in space, it's not really a happy ending or a happy timeline, because Dr. Gero would have still created the androids because of what Goku did back in the original Dragon Ball. The consequences of Trunks' absence is that without Trunks, Goku wouldn't have known about the android threat, wouldn't have prepared for 3 years by training for the androids, and he wouldn't have gotten the medicine to treat the heart virus. Goku would have eventually died of the heart virus. No, I don't think Goku got the heart virus from Yardrat. I think he got it from living in the wild until he met Bulma. Even if Goku did survive the heart virus, he would have been a lot weaker than in canon, because in this alternate timeline, he would have never trained as much as he did in the original storyline, because during those long periods of peace, he would have done normal training and he would be more of a family man. And pretty much without the fights with the Saiyans and Frieza, he would be way too weak to fight the androids. Without those Zenkai boosts on Namek and without Super Saiyan, he wouldn't be strong enough to fight Android 19 and 20. The androids would have still been released, and the androids would kill the remaining Z fighters. Yeah, this doesn't look like a good timeline at all. It pretty much ends the same way as the future timeline, but a lot worse, because there's no Trunks around to change history. So pretty much everyone is screwed, because all of the remaining Z fighters would have been wiped out by the androids. One positive thing to come out of this what if is that Goten might be born a lot earlier, because Goku would have more time to be a parent, because without the Saiyan and Namek saga, he would pretty much be more active as a father. He would have had more time to raise Gohan and Goten. Cell would still be released, absorb the androids, and achieve his perfect form, but Cell would still be a lot weaker than in the canon timeline, because no one knows what a Super Saiyan is. Also, Frieza would have never landed on Earth to get revenge on Goku, because no one goes to Namek. He wouldn't have Frieza's cells, so he would be trapped on Earth, because without Frieza's cells, he wouldn't be able to survive out in space. Cell would still be wreaking havoc on the Earth, killing every Earthling he sees until Babidi and Deborah arrives on Earth. Cell would try to destroy them. Cell would try to fight Deborah, with Cell being weaker than in canon. Without Frieza and Super Saiyan cells, Deborah easily defeats Cell. With energy they've been gathering through the cosmos, remember, everyone on Earth is weaker, so it took longer to resurrect Majin Buu. Buu would kill Deborah. He would have blown up Earth along with the remaining survivors of Earth. Buu eventually turn on Babidi. Buu would destroy planets. Buu would kill the Supreme Kai, which means Beerus dies. Broly might be able to stop Buu, but it's no use, because with barely any mortals around and without a god of destruction of Universe 7, Zeno would end up erasing Universe 7. Let's thank Raditz for coming to Earth, because he pretty much did save Universe 7. If he didn't come, Goku would have never pushed himself as much as he did in the original timeline. Raditz is a very important character to the plot. Without him, Universe 7 would have been destroyed. And without Raditz, there's no Vegeta. Everyone's screwed. It's over. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, tell me your what if ideas in the comments, and subscribe. See you guys in the next what if.